Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome back to the barn at High Falls. Episode 3, it's time to plan. Before we get going, I really want to thank everybody and share. We already have 350 followers, great comments, amazing likes, and I really hope we can keep up the energy and the excitement of this project. Before we get into the details of planning, we have a little bit of housekeeping to do. We asked you guys, when we showed you a picture of the barn, exactly from this point, what was the date of that picture? We gave you 3 choices, and the answer, 1895, just before the fire. We also told you that we'd be starting construction really soon. Well, for anyone who's done construction or restorations, soon can be a relative term. So we already know that we're going to be 4 to 6 weeks delayed from the start. Some of it due to weather. But in the meantime, we're going to give you a lot of great stories about the barn. Even with delays, we've tried to get ahead of long lead deliveries so that when we do start, it'll be quick. We're going to talk about 3 of those today: doors, windows, and chairs. Okay, so we ordered our doors 2 months ago. Now remember, the front doors go inside these 2 barn doors. We got ahead of that. The problem is that they got delivered incredibly fast. So the delivery came in a 40-foot truck with a massive crate on it. It was delivered right here on the side of the road. The driver could not get his rig down the hill to the doors by the barn, so our property manager had to spring into action, get over here, help him get the crate out. How they got it down the hill, I really don't want to know. But they did get it down, and they got it wrapped and weatherproofed. The end result was we unpacked the crate outside. We brought all the materials into the barn, then brought the empty crate into the barn, repacked it, and here's where it will sit for 3 to 4 months. The lesson learned here is before the deliveries arrive, we need to know how big a crate's going to be, how heavy, and how many people to unload it. Now on to windows. So we've ordered 23 custom windows, the majority of which are going to be on this entire back wall that is facing the mountain and will let an awful lot of light in. More importantly are the 16 interior windows that are going to be up in the lofts. So each loft, the one on the left and the one on the right, will be 650 square feet. And we're going to be using 18 antique window sashes in a random collage to bring atrium light into the bedrooms and allow a really cool rustic look for the barn. So these are the antique window sashes that are going into the collage in the lofts. And when I said random, I really meant it, because you can see they are vastly different in size, different in color of glass. Some are clear, some are leaded, some are cylinder, and we even have stained glass. These came from different churches, barns, and farms. And when we get this installed, I think it's going to look really cool. As I told you in episode 1, we're going to have a very large dining room table with seating for 14. And we've already acquired a lot of that furniture. And again, we want it to be extremely random, like you would see in a farmhouse. Some of them will have arms, some of them will have cushions, some of them are just solid wood, but all have a character to themselves that's going to make dining really interesting. So these are 2 of the benches that we have found. They're great because they're going to seat 2 or 3 people. This one dates back to the early 1800s and is perfectly maintained. Look at this embroidery work and the carving, and this little spindle carries a little piece of fabric. The other bench, also from the early 1800s, has incredible carvings to it and a hidden compartment with an original embroidered pad, which is really outstanding once we get it cleaned. So that's the end of episode 3. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, as I said I would before, we're going to ask every time for you to keep following and send this to your family and friends. We need more followers.